Don't go swapping out your beloved blade for an electric motorcycle just yet. There's been some recent chatterings recently about petrol motorcycles being banned in the UK from 2035. Well, all internal combustion engine motorcycles really, but when's the last time you saw a diesel motorcycle, eh? And no, there isn't some motorcycle catcher that's going to come along and take away your filthy combustion engine motorcycle on December 31st, 2034, when that clock strikes midnight.
Motorcycles.
There have been some sources stating that this will happen, but that's just not true, at least not yet. If you delve into the documentation provided by the Department of Transport, you'll see lots of graphs and charts and statistics and cute little stick people walking around all over the place, as well as the word decarbonising 238 odd times. And it covers everything from walking, cycling, motorcycles, cars, boats, planes, everything. And it's all about reducing our carbon emissions in the UK, and with transport being such a massive factor in that, there's an action plan to tackle it. Now, it makes sense to decarbonise or electrify public transport and most cars. Most people just don't care. They just want to get from A to B with as little fuss as possible, and they don't really care how the power is produced. They just want to be somewhere. But nay, we are not like them. We're motorcyclists, we're enthusiasts, we love two wheels, we love the sight, the smell, the sound. These things are important to us. It's one of the reasons why we got into motorcycling, right? I mean, I know that won't be the reason for everyone, but surely whenever you hear something nice go past, your ear pricks up, and that's part of the reasons why we just like motorcycling so much. At least for me anyway. I love the sound of motorcycles, and even the smell. Oh, they smell so good, especially on a two-stroke. So what does the document have in store for us, the motorcyclists? Well, it says all new L category vehicles must be zero emissions at the tailpipe, subject to consultation. Let's break that down step by step. L category vehicles. Now, this might sound like small bikes, 125s, things that would have an L plate, but this just means any motorcycle, really. Any two-wheeled object, even three-wheelers to a degree, depending on the engine size. You've also got ATVs are included in there. Anything sort of small capacity and motorcycle, really. Zero emissions at the tailpipe is exactly how it sounds. Nothing can come out of that exhaust. In fact, it probably shouldn't have an exhaust anyway. So that pretty much limits us to electric or hydrogen. And in fact, a hydrogen fuel cell powers an electric motor anyway, so electric's our motive power, really. Now the important bit, subject to consultation. Now, an official date hasn't been decided. There isn't a date set in stone for when this is going to be. There are talks still to happen, there's things that need to be discussed, and official dates do need to be set. I mean, the deadline could even be brought forward. There's so many factors involved, but a date hasn't been concreted. This rule will only apply to the sale of new motorcycles. So a manufacturer will no longer be able to sell you an internal combustion engine producing emissions. It will have to be an electric powered bike. It's only affecting the sale of, not the use of. So don't fret about it for now. I mean, don't ask me how you're going to put fuel in it, because if all the petrol stations are gone and everyone's on electric, I don't know where you're going to get the fuel from, huh? Electric power isn't a bad thing though. If you haven't tried an electric motorcycle, I urge you to try and have a go. I mean, those things absolutely rip, and actually they're quite good fun. They're missing a few things, but actually they're still quite enjoyable things to ride, and when you're cracking on a bit, you don't really notice anyway. When the consultation goes ahead and we find out what's happening, I'll be sure to update you as soon as possible. So hit that subscribe icon, ring that bell, and you'll be notified when the video comes out, and all the other awesome videos that we're going to bring out. But there's another very crucial part to this mix, and something I will need to read off a screen because I just do. Given the rate of technological advancement and uncertainty in the precise mix of future zero emission solutions and the probability of significant changes in travel behaviour over the years ahead, this plan cannot precisely plot each individual steps to fully decarbonising transport modes over the next 30 years. AKA, we're just planning with what we know now. Behaviours change, technology changes, we don't know how good battery tech's going to be, so this document is kind of just going off what we already have. Things might explode and another technology might come along, it might take over and change the landscape of transportation as we know it, so we kind of can't always say this is a definite set in stone. Think of it as written in pencil, and it can be rubbed out at any time it needs to. I mean, who knows exactly what will happen. With companies like Bosch and Shell developing synthetic fuel technology that are from carbon neutral sources, we might not rely on fossil fuels. They're also leaner, cleaner, greener. They're just a bit more expensive at the moment. Like I say, who knows what time will tell, and it might not be the final nail in the coffin for the internal combustion just yet.